tired. And I almost canceled class today. And I might let you out early. Let me just say that again. I'm really tired. Tired. There we go. And I almost canceled class. Tired. I stayed up late to grade all of your tests and all of your discussions so that all of your points would be there. I did not grade any proposal points because they're not considered yet. That's part of the last 3 discussions you have. You only have 3 more discussions. You have quizzes 8, 9, and 10. So you only have 3 quizzes. You might, yes. You're not going to get any more fun practice tests because I don't have the strength to even talk about it at the moment. But you do have a project coming up. The project is 100 points. It's in lieu of the integrals test that you would have had. And it is all the, I can tell you right now, it's basically you do all the discussions for yourself. Okay? What? Everything. Do it all. The only thing is, you don't have to present. You're going to do all of them. You're going to do the writing, the speaking, and everything. And you're going to put that in the worksheet. And then you're going to create a video of only the really good stuff, which doesn't mean you can't go on and say, there's nothing good here. You have to sell something. I want to hear something about derivatives. I want to hear something about integrals. I want to hear something about limits and maybe error. So those would be good things. But like the mean value theorem, you'll do it, but you won't report unless it's good, unless you think it's a good thing that you need to talk about in your project. Then yes. But those things, the basic fundamentals of calculus, I want to hear you talk about them with something that you're interested in. The project in the past, the project has been very helpful to me in writing letters of recommendation if anybody ever wants one. Because you know you've been doing group work and I watch you. And you've been using a lot of technology and I watch you. Now you're doing your own research project and I will get to hear and see what you do. And so that gives me a lot of stuff that isn't just you did well in the course if you need a letter of recommendation. I would also say don't usually ask a math professor for letters of recommendation because they're usually the writing stinks. But I've written some good letters of recommendation because of that project. That gives me something to write about. So let's we'll do that. And it's due towards the end. And that's the only, I'm grading 2 more things for you. That and the final exam. And for the final exam, I make notes on your test. Too many people, as Sarah pointed out, were taking the exam in bed. You can't scan the room from bed. There used to be 1 or 2 people taking it in bed. And I could think, okay, that's cool. But literally 90% of you took the test in bed. I'm not looking at you, Chick. I think you didn't. Yes. But there were a lot of bed takers. And interesting. And you know, I watched all your videos. Every question that I said, I watched every room scan. I watched every question, all of the first 6 questions. I watched the last 4 questions, or 7 questions and 4 questions. And the ones in the middle, I looked at. If you got it wrong, I looked at it. If the program marked it wrong, but you had it right, I looked at it. If I just wanted to know how you did this problem, I looked at it. So I looked at a lot of your tests. Some of the tests were really cool. I was really excited. I actually did something I don't think I ever did. It wasn't anyone in this class. I actually wrote thank you on my comments because it showed me how the test could actually work. If it was, I don't know, they answered the questions quickly. The first question has been answered quickly. It was like zip, zip, zip. I was like, this is awesome. I could have graded these all in one day if they were all like this. That was nice. And then the reading, you're supposed to read the text. Like, I still have people who insist on typing. The problem with typing is I'm sitting there waiting for you to type. None of you type fast. Okay. So you're typing And I should be done. When you start typing, I pretty much should have moved on. I only want to listen to the beginning of those verses. I don't want to listen to you type in your notes. But anyway, what about me here?
Feedback saying like say before you type.
That's it. Say it. Just say the answer out loud. And if it's right, I move on. I don't, if you,
Like put it down first, then say it out loud. That's just a mistake.
no, say it. And then you can say it and put it down, but just say something first. Because if it's right, I'm done. I would really like to move on. But if you make me wait for you to type it in, then I'm sitting there gritting my teeth, saying, boy, would I love some food. Or I'd love to get some sleep or something. But yes, try to make it fast. Next time, say it. There are some people who mumbled it. I swear I heard them mumble the answer, and I was like, oh, they're mumbling the answer. I can give them credit. I can move on. If they don't say it right, I'll listen more. If you don't say it right, I'll listen more. Okay, so you don't have to worry about me be listening to it and saying wrong. I listen and I'm like, okay, maybe they're going to correct themselves. And then you correct yourself. If you do it fast enough, I don't even take up any points. But if you start typing and you're doing it really slow, then I'm bogged down. So yeah, I don't listen. And again, if you need rest between questions, some of you really look like you needed rest. Answer the question, the spoken ones, answer them first and then rest. Take a deep breath and say, okay, the next one. I won't hear any of that because I will have moved on. So you have space between questions that you can do whatever. Don't leave the room though. Oh my God, I watched this one student, none of you. Drink and drink and drink. And it wasn't you. You were eating. You were the prize for annoying. No, this wasn't you. The student was drinking water the whole time. Drink, 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 and drink. And then she got up to pee. And she went back and she drank, and she got to pee again. And I was like, if you did, you're not allowed to leave the site. Honor Lock has a fit if you get up and leave. And honestly, I was a little disappointed with Honor Lock. Sometimes I watch people get up and leave, and Honor Lock didn't say anything. I was like, oh crap, students are going to get the wrong idea that that's okay, and that's not okay. But yeah, because I watched someone, it wasn't you. You can drink water, and water is okay, and water is an approved thing. But anyway, any other questions on this? They weren't bad. You guys did good, I thought. I graded your tests last because I wanted to be happy. And I was happy when I graded your tests. Yeah.
And so for my test, my something ones didn't work. And in case like that, are we supposed to
So yes. So if that happens, and I'm glad you asked, if any of sometimes the links just fart and they don't work. Because I saw this on the test lots. People were like, oh, this isn't working. And then they went back, and then they found out that they could find another Desmos link that they already had open. And then later on, they opened it up just fine. So I don't know why that is, but Honor Lock should allow you to open up those links. You should just text them in the chat, say, there's a link on my test and it's not opening up. And if I didn't, there was a problem with that test, but none of you had taken it on Friday. Remember I opened it on Friday? Opened it up and 3 people from the other class took the test before the links were broken. So I just let them take those questions over again. But I don't think anyone in this class got that offer. You did?
Yeah.
Did I grade? How did I do it?
I retook it the whole thing twice because you
Did I grade the whole thing twice? Some people I did, some people I didn't.
I mean, you left up on the same questions from the last 4, but I don't know if that meant you only graded whenever you took it.
I took it, so what I might have done, if I liked you, which I probably did, is you just have to be, it has to be enough. I will grade both of them. Because that was another 2 exams, it's not such a big deal, but what I did was I took the questions from the exam that you took the second time and I just put them in to see which score was higher. And they should have gotten the higher of the two scores, if I liked you. If I didn't like you, I just took either the last one or the first one and put the points in, and I didn't look at the second one. Like if you're repeating stuff you already did, I don't have to count that. But I think for you, I might have done them both, just check. Did you have to see two grades that were in the same ballpark?
I honestly didn't, I didn't look.
Um. But I rated yours last, literally you were the people I was rating last night between midnight and 6 o'clock in the morning. The online students, I can't talk to them. I mean, I can send them emails, but I have no guarantee they're gonna read them or anything, so I got them done first. So, but all in all, I was pretty happy with your class.
I had a quick question.
Yes.
So for the 20 points that you're going to add, is it going towards like the total points in like our like course grade?
No, I guess you didn't hear this. I'm adding, some people got in the 90s, so they're not gonna get 20 points. They're only gonna get us enough points to get them up to, and honestly, I only get them up to 99. So
Okay.
I don't, if you earn 100, I want that recorded as 100, but I'm not curbing anything over 99 unless you got 100.
Okay, and also for the derivatives test, did you add the 10 points to that yet?
For this class, no. For my
Okay.
online class, yes.
Okay,
Again,
no worries.
Because I told you I would do it, I'm definitely going to do it. Sarah will not let me live without doing it. So, and that is just 10 points. That test was worth 100 points, so it's 10 points out. This test is worth 200 points, so I'm adding 20 points. But that's not 20%, that's only 10%. I'm basically giving you, I'm not giving you, you think I'm not really giving you anything but what I call a Rutgers curve. When I used to work at Rutgers, the curve was pretty much a 50 to a 55 was a D. 55 to wait, hold on. Let me go from the top. An 80 to 100 is an A. So I wanted to add the 10 points to get anyone who got an 80 on that test, on the test, so that was their raw score. With the 10 more points, they should be in the 90s. If you got in the 70s, to me, that was a B. Those were good tests. People who did, I mean, I legitimately felt that if you got in the 70s, I was disappointed because I thought that was a good test. How come you missed points? But a lot of times you miss chunks of points. A lot of people miss chunks of points on things like the ones like what happened here, the reading comprehension part. That's kind of like some people miss literally if it was Newton's method and you wrote everything but Newton's method. I couldn't give you any points for it. You'd lose 10 points right there. Bless you. Anyway. There were a few things missing from this test. I didn't ask anybody to do a product rule. I didn't ask anybody to actually do an integration. And I didn't ask something else from that review class. I remember after we went over it, I said, I should put those in. But anyway, it was okay. The questions were little, some people got really, the tests were all different because you get questions. And I remember one person getting a whole bunch of like being beaten to death with average rate of change and instantaneous rate of change. Every one of the first 4 questions was something to do with average and instantaneous. And I don't think Blackboard is smart enough to know that. They just randomly picked the questions, but they randomly came out like, let's see, how many points do you need for instantaneous rate of change? How many points do you need for average rate of change? What are the 2 rates of change? What's the mean value theorem say? I mean, it was stuff like that. All right, am I babbling on? Is there anything else you need to know about this? I wrote the comments on the test. I'm sorry, I had comments from the first test, so I did get some complaints because some people said, well, you should have told me that on the last test. And I said, I didn't tell it to you. I wrote it in a spreadsheet and then I didn't meant to attach it to your test and I never got around to it. So it just stayed there. But I looked at them and that's, you know, so if I really don't care I think the important thing is that the next test has to be the good one. The final exam has to be good. Has to be. And you can't be freaking out over it. You've seen the types of questions I asked. They can't be that bad. You know, I don't know. Or were they that bad? But the ones that were bad are easily remedied, though. I thought, like, if you missed 10 points because you didn't know that was the mean value there. It was the exact picture. It was the exact question from. It wasn't like I made my own one. These were questions that you saw that you could have seen from those tests. So I feel like I wasn't pulling any punches, and that's the important thing to know is that if the teacher's pulling punches or not. Teacher doesn't do that. You get an idea of what I'm asking and how I'm asking it. But it's very weird. I do acknowledge that the spoken test is terribly different. But I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think you guys gave me. I don't know. I don't know. But I enjoyed the parts that I didn't enjoy were sitting around waiting for people to answer questions. The part that I did enjoy was when you answered questions. When you said stuff, you all sound really smart. That's I feel more confident giving you a B or better grade because of the way you say things. When you say the limit is actually what really bothers me is if you mispronounce things. There's one guy had calculus before I could tell. But you know what he said? Hyperbolic cosine, you know what I called it? Hyperbolic, like he mispronounced it. And he mispronounced cosine, and then he mispronounced sinh and cosh too. He called it cosinch. And I was like, okay, you didn't watch any of these videos. So, and in your last calculus class, they didn't. Anything with a sine h, that was much better. The sine h and cosine was all us on this test. And I expect if it shows up on the final, it'll be even better. These questions will show up again on the final. The final is cumulative. The final isn't very different from the midterm. I usually throw in Devon, I throw in an integration. I usually do, and I was disappointed at myself for not. I throw that in so that the midterm feels like the final. Because once you throw an integral into in there, it's pretty much the final is going to be 1/3 integration though. But it's only an integral or two, and it's not a third of a 20. How many questions on that? There's 25 questions, so there's maybe 7 questions. We have, what do we have, 4 weeks, a month to go before the midterm or for the final? So we have 7 questions to pick up. That's like 2 questions a week. And the final exam questions tend to be more fundamental. So they're not like, do this really complicated thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right. Anything else I have to cover before I collapse? You guys at home have any questions? Are you good? Suhave, Nena, Anusha. I'm telling you, your class had really good grades for the most part. And if you didn't get a good grade, you can still pull it out. There's still plenty of time. And if you don't pull it out, I would rather here's the thing. I'd rather have a nice clean exam that's done to the best of your ability. No doubts that this is the grade you earned. And if it's not a good grade and you need more time, I can let you take it again later and try to get the grade up. But if it's a messy exam, then I'm not so generous. Okay. All right. Let me try to talk about Mod 8. So Mod 8 is due today. There wasn't much on Mod 8. There was a proposal. Did anybody do the proposal? Oh, there's no thing for it. Well, let's talk about it. What do you guys want to do? Do you remember? And again, this is worth 15 points, but it's also your proposal for what you're going to be doing. So, anyone want to cough up an idea? Uh-oh. These instructions are bad. Hold on, let me just change them. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. Give a proposal for your independent research project you might want to explore. You will be doing a full project. In this class, be sure to specify exactly what your X and Y variables and units might be. Okay, you'll need 9 data points. What else do I want? Interesting, relevant, and informative. Interesting. What is interesting to you guys? You watch YouTube videos of things you're interested in. What does YouTube think you're interested in? Oh, you must get reels on your Facebook or your TikTok. What do you care about cats? Sports. I know they know what you're interested in because they know what I'm interested in. If I sit too long on something saying that's interesting, they send me hundreds of it. I watched somebody, most boring thing in the world, take a fish hook and tie it. And then I lingered too long. I was like, that's interesting. And then the next 10 things that it sent me were all fishing related. And I was like, no, I don't like fishing. Yes. So what are the things that they always send you about? So sports, what sports do they send you to take on? Football? So lots of numbers in football. Are you gonna study any of those numbers? Do you care about your winning team? Who's winning? Los Angeles or Yankees? I grade papers for 3 days, and this is what happens. I'm not really a fan of either of them personally. I think them both, but I'm a Phillies fan. I'm a full-time Phillies fan, but for some reason, I'm a Giants fan. When I was a kid, the Giants sucked, and I felt some compassion for them. And the Eagles kind of sucked too. But then the Eagles became good, and the Giants still kind of sucks. But I like the Eagles too. If they win, I'm happy. I hate the Dallas, whatever they're called.
My school.
You're not allowed to wear silver and blue or something. Only green. Anyway, sports is there's lots of numbers in sports if you want to predict how your team is going to do. I love the idea. Even if you think of yourself, you're a business person, you think about yourself as the managing, like what's the financials of these things? Because that's really, I heard that the baseball, the World Series was the most expensive sporting event you could go to. The seats were going for like thousands because New York and Los Angeles are expensive cities and people can pay through the nose. Like if it was Kansas City and Kalamazoo or something, those people can't pay for nothing. So you're not going to charge $500,000 for a ticket, but New Yorkers in Los Angeles people can pay. Here?
So close. Imagine there's tickets.
New Jersey's got a lot of money. You have to love New Jersey. I mean, so much cool stuff goes on in New Jersey. I'm not from New Jersey originally, but I love it. What? Everything about New Jersey. When people say to me, oh, the taxes are high in New Jersey, I say, I pay them happily so that I don't have to drive 6 hours to a Costco. I pay this. So I can go to the beach and smell that fresh ocean air. Yes, the mountains, have everything going on in New Jersey. And there's I can be up to 6 o'clock. I could have gone out last night. 6 o'clock when I could have gone out. Could have gone into New York. Could have gone into Philadelphia. Come on, people, if you're complaining about taxes in New Jersey, then leave because this is a great place. And I don't even use a lot of this stuff, but I just like having it around, like having a cup holder in your car. I don't get to the beach that often. But when I go, I want it there. I don't want to drive 6 hours to the beach.
With the cup holder in the car?
With the cup holder in my car, yeah. So you know what I'm saying? People buy cars because of the cup holders. They like this stuff. New Jersey is a great place. I know it's not a discussion, it's a discussion about this thing. Anything about New Jersey and how awesome it is, I believe it's interesting. I know some people did shark deaths. That was one year. Remember, I told you people have done a lot of death in these things. Try to stay away from death. It's kind of sad. But shark bites, shark attacks, shark deaths, New Jersey, that's a thing. If we lived in Kansas, that would not be a thing. Okay? No offense to Kansas, but their shark population is greatly diminished since they have no ocean. Okay? Who else? What else is there to do in New Jersey? It's interesting. Shopping. Lots of shopping in New Jersey. You can just go from mall to mall to mall all day. I was looking for something at Target. I went to 20 Targets. All through the whole state of New Jersey. Target. There's something on sale. In fact, if you've ever seen my Zoom, there are these little metal Christmas trees that are behind me. I like them. I have them in every room of my house. But I literally went to Secaucus and up there, and I went all the way down to like Cherry Hill, just GPSing the next Target. Yes. Okay, maybe they still have them here. This was back before you could find out if they had them or not. But actually, even then you could have. You just couldn't be sure because they throw them in clearance. So I was rushing in. I was rushing into where they might be, snatching them up, going to the next Target. It was fun. Shopping in New Jersey, awesome. Okay, what else do you like in New Jersey that's interesting? Wawas? Wawas are romantic to me. Actually, you know what else is romantic to me? This is terrible. Because I used to like to drive with my family, would drive to New Jersey, we drive to Florida, and stop at rest stops. The turnpike, the turnpike rest stop. I don't know where it is, Robbinsville or Hamilton or whatever. That you've never been there, I'm sure, because you always get off. But there's really one right there at exit 7A. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What does it look like?
Turnpike rest stop. It's a turnpike rest stop.
Wait, what good is it?
It has nothing in it. It's a turnpike rest stop. But I literally go there sometimes because they're open all night. I'll just go there and sit next to the half-open Starbucks just because it's too romantic to me, because it reminds me of traveling. And we used to take these late night trips and we would stop at these rest stops. My dad would get coffee. We'd just sit there and I would get something horrible like French fries, which I'm not allowed to eat anymore because I'm old.
What? Now that you're old, you can do whatever you want.
No, not when I'm old. My body says I can't. When you're your age, you can do whatever you want. When you're my age, carbs are out the window. No, no, I'm vegan. I'm vegan. What?
Cookie? Have you ever had them?
I know where they are. I've seen them. People baking outside.
So bad for you. Like they're good, but they're not that good.
I'm a vegan and I bought this at Costco. They have this coconut vegan yogurt. It's really delicious. I was like, this is the best yogurt I've ever had. Had 19 grams of fat in half a cup. Like it's literally just whipped up fat. It's like, I was like, okay, well, I guess this isn't good for my heart. But
Mushrooms.
what? I never liked mushrooms, but I eat them now. I've only been a vegan since like the last 25 years. That's your whole life. I've been a vegan for 25 years. I've been a vegetarian since 1980 something, 7. I saw a PBS show on how they killed chickens and it turned me off for a couple weeks. But then I started eating them again, but then I discovered I really don't digest them well. I eat too fast, so I can't digest meat that well. Vegetables do better for me. So I've been a vegetarian for a long time. But that's interesting to me, vegan restaurants. When I started to be vegan 25 years ago, I could explain it to everybody. And by the way, I'm not a vegan. I'm a strict vegetarian. Do you guys know the difference between a vegan and a strict vegetarian? These shoes, for example, are leather. The vegan would never wear leather, but a strict vegetarian. And I also eat beef. I eat honey. I don't eat beets, but I eat honey. I don't care. I mean, I'm a health vegetarian. I eat for health reasons, not for moral reasons. So I can't eat a lot of things. And if somebody poisons me with milk is like the only thing that I'm allergic to or have a hard time digesting, but it's not great for me. It gives me sinus problems. So if I eat Indian food and there's milk in it, it's not the end of the world for me. I don't have to like drink bleach or anything. So, but anyway, these are all interesting. I'm just telling you about myself, but these are interesting topics. I love anything about vegan, but tell me something about you. Melanie, what are you interested in? Cats? I saw your two cats on a test. I heard them and I saw them. Sorry. Don't want me to see your pets leave up and leave the room, but yeah, it's very cute. They look very healthy. You're a biology major, I think, too. So all my biology major friends have cats and plants. I didn't see any plants. Not into plants. Cats. You can do cat. You can track cat videos. You know what I'm talking? That's my favorite cat video. The kitten. You know what I'm talking about? Even cat. You watch it. Oh, there you go. So yes, so you could track cat ownership. My sister has 30 cats, by the way. She's crazy. Her husband had a lot of money. A lot of money. Her vet bill is like $15,000 twice a year. Yeah, no, and she likes the sickly and she takes any sad ones that need help and need work. And then she spends all that money. She has the frequent flyer plan at her vet's office or whatever. Like that 15,000 is probably with the 25 or 30% discount. So she takes them in for the shots and waves. She brings them in. But anyway, cats are good. Like cats. Anything else that's interesting? Right here, what do you like?
And what?
Anything. What's your hat say?
Riddick Bowe versus Herbie Hawk.
What is it?
Riddick Bowe versus Herbie Hawk.
Okay, that is
It's a boxing.
boxing. That's the thing you could do. Not interested in boxing. I watched this MMA thing
Oh, yeah.
on TV the other day, and I didn't understand what was going on. There was a guy on another guy's back, and he pressed him up against the wall.
And he choked him
I
out.
mean, it's just the guy on the box just pounding on the guy, and the guy's just pushing it back. I was like, and it went on and on and on.
For like one round, right?
I don't know, it went on forever. I kept looking up, I kept walking. It was on the TV at the gym or something, and I saw it, and I walked away, and I came back and said, that guy still beat on that guy. And I come back and I said, what's going on? And I said, when I walked, and he just kept doing that forever. That was pretty wild.
Sometimes they have better referees that don't stop.
It was it just went on and on. And it was, and then later on, they showed the same thing again. So I think it was probably like when I accidentally watched like 10 minutes of Game of Thrones one day, making it. How bad can it be? I haven't seen it in a long time. And there's this wedding that's going on. And then the most horrible thing, I didn't even know the Red Wedding. I apparently caught that on TV at just the moment that it was happening. I was getting free HBO or something, and you guys know the Red Wedding from the Game of Thrones? It's a wedding. It looks like a nice medieval wedding. Game of Thrones, it's like whatever. And then everyone gets killed. Stabbed the pregnant bride in the stomach or something. It was just awful. Whatever it was a bloodbath. It's terrible. So I don't know. Now I don't watch Game of Thrones anymore. But yes, sometimes I just happen to catch world events, but sometimes they show them over and over again. What else? Jake, what do you like? Video games. Aren't they cool? My first video game was like Pong. What do you play?
I remember the video was Call of Duty came out, so that's why.
That is so realistic. Do you ever get, when you're doing those things, have you ever done any of those things where you're falling and you feel like you're like in a video, you're falling and you actually feel like you're falling, but you know it's just a video? Do you ever get that way when you're playing those games? Because they look very realistic to me.
Oh, yeah. maybe when I'm watching someone play it, but never when I actually play it.
Do you get shot and killed in these movies, in these games? Is it traumatized? Does it traumatize you at all?
Yeah, it's not absurdly graphic. Like, obviously, there's blood, whatnot, but compared to some of the things you might see on the internet, it's not as egregious as you think.
Alright, so you're gonna do something about video games? Sort of numbers, there's a lot, the video games have grown a lot. Like even if you just look at the amount of pixels of video, like how much is on the screen that you look at. It's gotten to such high resolutions, you need better equipment. All my students have better cameras and stuff because of video games. I know, I don't think when they do that, when we scan and you show me that big video game, the curved video monitor, you have one of those? With the color, you know, you have the color keyboard, and then the big like computer stuff with the lights, like people have cars with the extra lights on the wheels and stuff. I have seen these things. And the headsets that are like,
Who's flexing on?
what?
So who's flexing on you?
What's that mean? Bro showing off their stuff? I'm not impressed, I'm just curious, because whatever, I have this headset that you see me when I put the Zoom thing off, that's my headset, so the thing I bought at Best Buy. Because it was cheaper than Target, what? Was it a Best Buy?
So,
It was just, I needed one, so I got it, but I thought some of the students sound really good, like they have real high quality ones that make you sound like you're on NPR. Have you ever heard NPR, like, hello, this is like it just cleans up all the audio. Right, come on. All right, what else? Who hasn't told me anything? Sports, cats, video games, Sarah?
I just like hands with friends at work and that's it.
Can I tell you a sad story? I have a friend who has a friend. Both of them both lost their parents recently. Very sad. They were both caregivers. They both took care of their parents their entire lives. And they have no hobbies.
That's it to me.
And the one guy has like millions of dollars. Literally millions of dollars. And when they go out to eat, they eat at like McDonald's. Or or McDonald's is maybe, and when they do eat out, it's always like, this is so expensive. Like, I remember when these things were done, like, it's like, you need to get a hobby, you need to get out and enjoy. You cannot die with millions of dollars. He has no kids either, so he's gonna die with no kids, millions of dollars. And the state just gonna take that money and put it into whatever. It's probably some program you won't even like, but like, don't you wanna do something with your life? Don't die without a hobby. Can you do ball dancing? That's my favorite.
No, competitive.
That's competitive, but it's not competitive.
Like. Say, not,
Oh, man, so someone made me go to a wedding years ago. Actually, she didn't make me go to a wedding. I asked her to go to a wedding with me. She said she made me take ball dance class. And I'm actually a very good ball dancer. When I was at Rutgers, I took 14 classes a week. I learned all of them. And at first I was not good. And I remember 5 years into taking classes at Rutgers, the dance teacher came up to me and he said, "How long have you been dancing?" And I said, 5 years. And he stopped the class. He said, everyone, I just want you to know that you can work really hard at this. You can work for 5 years and be crappy at everything you do. And then all of a sudden, one day you can dance. I was like, oh, thank you for that compliment. And he's right in front of everybody said that, like, oh, okay, well, I'm flattered that you think I could dance now. But I couldn't before, but I'm glad because the dance instructors don't call on you when you're bad. And I knew I was getting good because they were correcting me. Because when you're bad, when you're like all over the place, they're like, that's a disaster. But once you get good enough where you're just your elbows a little low and then like, oh no, elbow up. Then you're like, oh, I must be doing something right that they're even bothering to look at me. Non-stop. But dancing is a very, you should do dancing. And you know, there's a career out of dancing. It's a very good career. I almost thought about doing it. If you're personable and you dance and you meet strangers and stuff, not like in dark alleys, but strangers, you can get hired as a wedding, not a crasher, but they're called wedding starters or something. And you go, but they sit you at the table like you're a friend, like you're a couple, like they sign you to tables, and then you at that table, you have to mix, you have to talk to the people when the dance comes on, you have to ask one of them to dance. So you go with somebody else that you may or may not know. Then you pretend to be a couple, and you're just like wedding crashers, but you're paid by the bride and groom to make the wedding fun. Is that wild? I want to do that. I want to be a wedding
You set up to do that.
starter. Well, I don't know, but I guess you hook up with somebody who does stuff. Anyway, last person here, what do you want to do?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
What's your hobbies?
Um,
You do in New Jersey on the weekends or on the weekdays when you're not working.
different. I have two main ones.
What's your main hobby?
Photography, and then I like robots. And I'm into
Robots. Both of those are very interesting technology things. If you're looking at any technology things, there are various ways of measuring them. You can measure, what's your major?
engineering science.
So you wouldn't want to do the money stuff, but you could do the memory, like how much memory they have, how many, I don't know if about engineering, but you know those animatronic things at Disney World? And know that it's a big deal that they have more and more movable pumps or whatever. Like if they have, like, they can move their elbow, that's a pump. Or whatever it is, and then they can move their fingers, that's another, but they have them now, they look almost like real people and not like animatronics, and they have robots too. That's all very interesting stuff, but if you just counted the number of movable parts, I think that would be an interesting thing to know. I bet you could find that out. No, don't let me talk with your ideas. You could do memory too, like how much memory do they have? How much AI is being used? I love AI.
I do.
So can I tell you what's wrong with AI? When people cheat on my test? People cheat on my test and use AI. Ugh. If you ask AI what is math, and you don't say, I want Professor Porter's answer, you're gonna get a whole lot of shit. And it really looks like shit. It's like, where are you getting this from? And I've actually had people who cheated, and I know they cheated. I'm not gonna accuse them of cheating, but they couldn't even read what they wrote. They typed in something that AI gave them and they're mispronouncing it, and they're trying to say, what? Type something you can't pronounce. You didn't think of this. Don't type before you speak. Speak first, then type.
I generally didn't know how to spell integral.
Oh, no. Integral though, that's it. Okay, that's a good thing. I'll mark it wrong and I'll say you didn't pronounce it right. But that's to make you pronounce it better for the final, because for sure you're gonna have to say integral. But that's not a huge cheating error.
It's integral, not integral.
Now, it's integral. Remember, so next time, I wasn't talking about you, but I wasn't thinking about you at all. But there are people who typed in AI stuff, my online, it's mostly the online students that do this sort of stuff. Because you guys hear me talk, when I ask you what is math, you hear it enough to not, you might muffle it up, or you might be like, I don't remember what the mean value theorem says. People mess that up. But and integrals we just started integrals from here, so I don't expect you to mispronounce it. But hyperbolic sine and cosine, we didn't do that much of, so you might remember. Okay, so are we good with this proposal for this? Let me talk about the people at home. Hey, you people at home, you're not off the hook. Suhave, what's your hobby? Come on, hobby.
I like to garden.
Do you? That's probably my favorite hobby. What type of gardener? What do you grow?
Well, mainly just like vegetables and stuff. Nothing crazy.
I'm not a big fan of vegetables. Costco grows my vegetables. I like to grow things because I don't get to travel. I like to grow plants that remind me of distant places. So like bananas or pomegranates or figs, stuff, things that take you away. That when I look at them, I'd say, this is not New Jersey. Not that I don't love New Jersey, maybe I do, but that's not New Jersey. I'm like, my neighbor has chickens. I can't have chickens, I have a bird. You can't have chickens and have tropical birds, and my bird's very old. 35. Parrot. Parrot, 30, African gray, it's 35. Actually, it's not lived that long. I had a cockatiel that lived to be 31.
Grow eggplants.
I do grow eggplants, and because I don't care for them very much, but so I can grow enough to eat them. But I'm a big eater, like you, when you're stuffing food in your mouth. I can't, if I grow something that I eat a lot of, like broccoli, I eat a lot of broccoli, but I never grow any broccoli because you get a handful of broccoli. Like I need that 5-pound bag that Costco sells. That's what I need. I buy that at least once or twice a week. But no. All right, so Javi, what's up, so you grow vegetables. You could do the sunflower example. You could track vegetables. You could see all types of data in plants. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, maybe I could do sunflowers. That works too.
From what?
I said maybe I could do that too, but I was thinking like, I don't know. Maybe like, does it have to be something that I actually grow, or can I just make it up?
You have to convince me that it's interesting. You're not one of those
Okay.
native people. By the way, I hate native plant people. Are you a native plant person?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. That's the right answer. No, never tell them. I really hate people, but native plant people are the ones that think native plants are awesome. And since I grow plants, why? To leave the state of New Jersey, why do I want to grow goldenrod in my yard? It grows everywhere. Oh, but it's native. Yeah. Guess who's not native to New Jersey? Sorry. I'm not native to New Jersey. What? Not New Jersey, but not far. I'm not gonna tell you. It's too private. And nowadays you can just look it up. It's so sad. Okay, so you have no, plants would be nice. Forestry is nice. Gardening is nice. Vegetables, any of that stuff. I love any of that stuff. Even native plants would be more interesting than population of New Jersey. You're not doing population of New Jersey, are you? Suhabe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Any? Yes. Any ideas like that would be fine.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you. Okay, Naina. Hobbies or interests?
Drawing, reading, and writing.
Do you know books are, I think would be interesting to know how books are faring. Are they producing more books or less books? Less?
I don't know.
You know, someone told me that music in the 70s was the best music that there is. Not disco, but all music that was made in the 70s is the best music you can get. So if you listen to classical music from the 70s, it's the best classical music. Rap music from the 70s, who knew there was rap music in the 70s? But it was better than the rap music today. And you know why it was better? This is the sad thing. For my business majors, it's because of money. In the 70s, all those musicians like Stevie Nicks, and she was on Saturday Night Live last week, nobody knows her, but these people made millions of dollars, which was in nowadays terms like, you know how there's like Queen Bee, whatever her name is, Beyonce. There are a lot more of them. Like you think she's like spectacular, but there aren't that many. There aren't as many superstars in music because the money isn't there anymore. There was a lot of big musicians in the 70s because TV sucked and movies sucked. the eighties came around and videos they bumped out music. And they know who's bumping out TV, who's gonna bump out. Mark my words, you know what's gonna happen to movies. They're gonna be replaced by Jake. What's better than watch a movie that you can participate in? Come on. Wouldn't it be great to be in a movie and you meet people and it's all holograms or whatever it is. What?
But it has a lot of. You have to be good. Unless it's like a simple.
No, everything gets better. Music wasn't that good in the 40s and 50s. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it's gotten better. 40s and 50s music is good. I shouldn't say, but that I see 40,000 years ago, music wasn't that good. But then it had 40,000 years to get good at it. TV has had less time to that means a newer technology. Video games are even newer. But soon we're going to be having participating movies that are going to be like you're immersed in the movie and the plot. And you're just like a character in the movie. Wouldn't that be fun? That's fun. It's totally doable. I'm sure. I'm behind the times. I'm waiting for a whole movie. So anyway, Nana, books are still around. So are cassettes. 8-tracks are gone. CDs are still around, but they're going. LPs are still around.
These are very.
I know, my car plays CDs. I know. I saw somebody made a chair out of them the other day. They melted down their CDs for a chair. So sad. They were like good. They were like albums that they would have paid money for too. But streaming has made it all go away. Anyway, and I like books. You can't go to sleep. I think going to sleep is good with the book. So it's healthy. All right, Nina, do you need any more help with that? Do you think you can come up with an idea?
I think I'm fine, yeah.
Okay, Anusha, talk to us. We're all listening.
I don't really know like what I would do my thing on.
What do you mean? What do you like to do? What you do?
I think one of my favorite subjects is probably like science. So maybe something like science related.
What's your major?
I don't have like a specific major yet because like I'm only like this is like the only class I take at MCCC.
And otherwise, you're a German spy.
No, I just go to like school every day.
Okay, and so this is your college class, maybe.
Yeah, because I think it's like pretty interesting to learn about calculus, but I think like maybe like astronomy is pretty cool. Like I've been getting into that recently, so maybe I'll do something about like astronomy.
There's a lot of neat stuff in astronomy. There's a lot of math. There's a lot of numbers in astronomy.
Yeah.
Good. All right. I will take those as anyway. Why am I badgering you to death, wasting your time? Saying, why isn't he talking about summation, sigma notation the way he promised us? Because I'm tired, but also I'm really trying to emphasize this. This isn't just child's play that we're just tossing around ideas. It is for you now. But every game is based on reality. When you play Monopoly, can you play that board game Monopoly? I don't play that anymore. No, I'm still.
Play that.
You know what I love about chess? Do you play chess? Hold on, they're different things. Chess is this one-on-one thing. And it's pure skill and it's just everything is on the board. So if in life you are dealing with a single person and you're trying to outmaneuver them for some business deal or for some science project or something, chess is your game. And also it's a matter of concentration and thinking steps ahead. So it's a game, but it has a lot of real life skills in it. But then no one's ever played bridge before. It used to be in the newspaper, you could see a chess column and a bridge column. Bridge is a game that my parents used to play, that generation, and this generation doesn't play it, but it's a really great card game. And why it's a good game is you play it with teams. It's 2 people against 2 people. and you don't know what your partner has. And you hear, and there's this bidding thing that goes on, and whenever I hear people play bridge, it sounds like squabbling couples. And you said you could provide, and you did, like, it's like that. It's a great partner. If you're talking about learning partner skills, this is a game that reflects partner skills. Okay, Monopoly, which is what I started with, is full of all types of business facts, having unfair things happen in Monopoly, and like this is helping you in life. And these games all help you in life. So what we're doing here in this class with this project is we're trying to come up with all types of neat and different ideas so that when it comes time in life, when you encounter them, you think, you know what, I could use calculus for this. So I'm giving a talk in about 2 or 3 weeks, by the way, to some distance learning program that's happening here at school. And by the way, what is that called? Underrepresented minority. What's the thing that they keep that Republicans say Kamala is because she's a Black woman or something? She's only there because she's a minority. Do you know what I'm talking about? Is it DUI? I can't remember.
I don't know.
DEI.
I don't know what it stands for.
Represents something. They just had Department of Equity and something.
Yeah, DEI.
DEI, inclusion, equity and inclusion. Yes. So I am a DEI speaker. And it's not because I'm a minority in any way. I am the only person from Mercer who applied to give a talk. And we're the host school. So they like to pick somebody from the host school, and I was the only one. So I am not, they're not picking me because I'm a great skilled person. They don't know me that well. But it'll be a good talk. I'm talking about online learning and not like what I do here with this hybrid, this a high flex test for people at home. Remote learning, I'm very into that. So I'm going to talk about it. And I hate people that talk about stuff. Like they talk about great teaching stuff through a PowerPoint presentation. That kills me. PowerPoint presentations are tired. Do you have an innovation? Show us it. So I'm going to show this demonstration. Anyway, my topic's going to be, what's the best price to charge for lemonade? If you're going to open up, you're going to sell lemonade. And what I'm going to do, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to collect the data right then and there. I'm going to have like a can of lemonade. And I'm going to say, okay, this is what you're going to sell. Let's think about this. And I'm going to ask people what they would pay for this can of lemonade. And I'll collect that data right now, I'll put it in Desmos. I'll have it do a bunch of regressions. And then I'll break up them into groups by their major, just like we did. And I'm going to have them input what they think it costs to make that lemonade. Like, what do they think it'll cost either to buy this can of lemonade or to make something comparable at home? And then they're going to input the cost, and I will have this all programmed in. This is what I do. And out will come about a profit, like how much money you're going to make and what price should you charge to make the most amount of profit. Doesn't that sound interesting, though? I mean, a 5-year-old kid could want to know this information, and I have it all in a spreadsheet. So all you have to do is put in the price what you think you can make the lemonade for. And when you figure out, and it'll tell you what the best price is, it's going to give you a graph, and you'll click on the maximum, and that'll be your maximum profit. But if your maximum profit is a negative number, what does that tell you? Bad. Because you should not sell lemonade. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the price of lemonade, you don't set the price of lemonade. The buyer sets the lemonade, sets the price for you. Yes, the buyer sets the price of lemonade. Right? Am I right? You guys set the prices. You decide what you're going to pay. If somebody says, I have lemonade is $100, you're going to be like, that's nice. You walk on. But if you can sell one at $100, that may be all you need. But what if you sell 1,000 of them at a penny and each one of them costs you 2 pennies? Then you've lost a lot of money. So anyway, this is a very easy application of Desmos. But I'm trying to get people to understand. So I'm not particularly interested in what's the best price to charge, but I think knowing what you know about Desmos and how it's easy it is to find the maximum on a curve, you might be able to create this thing. You might think to do it. And that's my goal. So, and maybe Sarah, when you take the SATs, if they let you use the Desmos? No. You said the PSAT that you use Desmos.
Yeah, that's a good in the thing, but you can also have a handheld calculator too. And I use my own.
Oh, use Desmos. Why aren't you using Desmos? Mhm.
And has coloring pages on its website. Amazing, search it up.
Well, I like cup holders in my car. Pretty pictures on my program. It's not, you can tell by my website that I'm very much a utilitarian presenter. Like, this is the information. It's really hard for me to put pictures and colors on things. That's why I appreciate people who do that, because that it's a good thing. It's a good skill to have. I don't have it. What color to use? My website is hideous. It's hideous. Have you seen my website? My website's terrible. Look at this. I went with Mercer Green,
That's.
but no, but what it used to be, I just steal the color of the school because it's the school's colors. Why shouldn't I be patriotic?
Honestly, not, it could be a lot worse, I feel like.
It could be, but wait, hold on.
Yeah.
That's Mercer Yellow. Yes, that's Mercer Yellow and Mercer, well, they changed. Hold on. Hold on, it gets worse. These are some ideas. This was the old project, by the way. I saw on my website, presentation rubric, what you should present. Should be 5 minutes. Introduce yourself, your data, why you're interested. Yeah, this is still good, actually. Technology that you used, PowerPoint, video, whatever. Present your graph. You're gonna have to present graphs. I like pictures. Graphs.
To get to like the class.
No, you're gonna put on video and then I'll watch it. Or I'll show it to people. And we'll ask questions. 2 types of predictions, evaluate yourself. Oh, that's pre-calculus. Am I in pre-calculus? I'm in pre-calculus. Interesting, relevant, and informative. But they also used to have to do a presentation. They used to have to do a poster. The poster was kind of cool. Yeah, but no. If you want to do a poster, at one point they would just do electronic posters and everything, and like the video would just be pointing at the parts of the poster. That's a way to do it. Some people do other types of things besides PowerPoints. I don't care. You have to be graded on that. Being graded on interesting, relevant, and informative. Oh, come on. What am I looking for? I'm looking for schedule. Old previous course info. There it is. There's the Mercer website from 20 years ago. That was their color. This is like, what the teal is that? Maybe. Whatever it was. This, I stole this from the Mercer website. And no, I worked for them and it's on their website, so I don't think it's stealing. I don't know, but TV game show fonts. I don't know. This is a long time ago. Where's my they used to see how these courses look. This is the courses that I taught. Hold on. These are all the courses that I've taught over the years, all the way back to 2013. There's older than that. I know there's 135 materials. My website's I'm a hoarder, by the way, of electronic stuff. I can't throw away anything. I save every email, junk or not. Regular junk email I throw away, but all current junk mail I save. I just pile it up on the server.
You know, satisfying it is to compare how we
Exactly, I don't.
I have no red dots on my phone. Ever. I'm always reading them and getting rid of them, but I don't throw them away. I put them in a folder. And I usually put them in the right folder, so if I have to throw them away, I will. I just don't know. Yeah, you want to go? I don't know, I gotta teach something. Let me teach something. Let's see what I'm supposed to teach. I did finish it. I know, but look, you need to know about summation. Sorry. So write a summation for the first 215 odd positive numbers. We went over this last time. So that's the sigma notation. You start with n equals 1. So the first thing you do is you plug in. So the first thing the program's going to do is it's going to take this, copy it, paste it, and it's going to put a 1 in there. Times 1. Okay, and then it's going to do plus. And then it's going to take the same thing, copy it, paste it. It's going to put a 2 in there. Okay, and then it's going to do the same thing, plus, copy.
Do you mind sharing your screen?
Oh, sure, I could. Does everyone understand the process of what it's doing? It says whatever you put in there, it's going to just copy and paste it, and then it's going to replace that n with the next number. What's the next number after 2? 3. Now let's just say I stop this at 3. See how they're the same? Okay. It turns out that you can break up summations in a bunch of ways. So the first thing you can do is there are properties of summations. So you can do this. You can break it up into, if it says a plus or minus, you can literally just break that up like this. Minus sum. Yeah. See, and you got the same answer, right? Now, if there's no n in here, because if you have a number that's being added 3 times like this, so this second one here, that literally just means 1 plus 1 plus 1, and you just do it 3 times. Now, what do you get? 3. What does this one? So what can I do with this part here? So here's another property I can do. If I have 2 times the number, that literally means 2 plus 4 plus 6. You see how I could factor a 2 out? I could take the 2 out here. And I could take the 2 out here. And I'm left with 1 plus 2 plus 3. Okay, which is how much? What is 1 plus 2 plus 3? This.
Where'd you get the 3?
3 is coming from here. Oh, the 1 is the first one. If the 2 is in there, I can take it out. This 2. Oh, the second 2 comes in the middle. When it says 1 to 3, it means 1 and 2 and 3. If I put a 4 here, let me just put a 4 there for a second so you can see it means this. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Okay. So what does that up to? So now let me do this one right here. When you know 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, you'll notice that the 4 and the 1 add up to 5. And the 2 and the 3 add up to 5. So really, this is, well, it's still 2 times. It's 2 times the first plus the last. Okay, so the first and the last would be the 1 and the 4, right? First would be 1, and the last would be 4. Those are things we have. We don't know about any of the things in between, but we always know the first and the last. And then how many of them are there going to be? If you take the last number and divide it by 2, that's how many it's going to be. Because look, if I take the 4 and the 1, that's 1 packet of 5. Then I have the 3 and the 2, that's the second packet of 5, but it's split down the middle. So it's half of the biggest number. That's how many you're going to add. So then it's just going to be the last divided by 2. now you have a formula for how to add them up. If you want to add up 1, 2, 3, 4, you could either just add them up 1, 2, 3, 4, or you could do the first plus the last times the last over 2. Okay. So what is that? 5. And so it's 10. And so this is just 5. This is 5. So if you add 5, can't be 5, it has to be 6. 5. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. This has to be 6, right? This is 3. That has to be 6. 1 plus 2 plus 3. Oh, because that's why. I'm sorry. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is what I have. I didn't have a plus 4 in there. This formula still works if I use a 3. What is 1 plus 3? 4. And what is 3? That's 4 times 3 halves. Is still going to be 6. Okay? Times 2. That 2 coming up. No, it's just going to be 6 total. So the 2 cancels with that. That's not right. Hold on, I took the 2 out. I'm really just trying to do this 3. I know I can take the 2 out. What is the sum? So that's 2 times 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, so that's 12. Oh, we're subtracting 3. That's why 12 minus 3 is 9. So this is 12 minus 3. Okay. But I just want to show you, but for this formula here, that's 12. The first plus the last is 4 times 3 is 12. And the 2's cancel out. So this is going to be 6, it's going to be 12. So you can do it lots of ways. You can add them all up if they're small enough. Or you can use this formula, one of the formulas that they have for adding things up. And there's, by the way, there's a formula for n, there's a formula for n squared, there's a formula for n cubed, none of which you have to remember. But there are, you need to note that there are formulas. And when you see a sigma notation reduced down to a formula with just the numbers there. So if you see something like this, you see the sum from 1 to n. This is exactly n. Not n, shouldn't be n. I. Smaller than m. You have I equals 1 to m. Okay. And you're doing that of n, that's going to be 1 plus m times m over 2. Okay, so that's a formula for it. Anyway, you don't need the formula. There's a formula for n squared too, or you can just, formula for n squared is given here. It's just the last, that 46 times 46 plus 1 plus 2 times 46 plus 1 all over 6. That will give you the same answer. All right. All right. Try to do these. These summations can be challenging, but let me tell you what we're trying to do. So here's some more complicated when it's just use the rules. So the rules are just what I showed you. You break them apart into different summations, and then you can use those formulas. Okay, so if I can do either 8 or 9, your choice, 8, 9, or 10. I think this better one is this one. Approximate the area under the curve by using n rectangles, which is, oh, it's 24 rectangles. No, I want this one. I want to do x squared plus 9 between 4 and 5, and I want to use 4 rectangles. Okay, so here's what I got. Okay. I've got 4 rectangles. I have x squared plus 9 is up here. You know, I'm not thrilled with x squared plus 9, so let's make it x squared plus 3. No, you know, I better leave it the way it was because I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, so let me take a look at this. This is oh, cool. Let me change my window with the wrench So I care about the X values going between where and where. I'm going between 4 and 5, but I'll go between 3 and 6. And the Y values will go between 0 and what? What is 6 grid? 36 is 50. Okay, so I'm looking at the area here. And I'm specifically looking at the area between X equals 4 and X equals 5. Does everyone see that area that I'm talking about? It's right here. I think I can shade it in too. Let's see if I have that. Here it is. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, how do I get it? Well, I'm going to break it up into 4 rectangles between 4 and 5. What are the numbers between 4 and 5? My little wrenchy thing. I never do this step thing, but if I want 4 of them, why don't I make them 0.5? That work? There, look. You see how this is between 4 and 5? I want 4 rectangles. Where can I split them so that I can have 4 rectangles? Like that? Would that be 4 rectangles? So 4. So let me see if I go back to my wrench and I say make it 0.25. Okay, does everyone see that there's a line at 4.25, 4.5, and 4.75? Okay. All right. So I'm looking for those 4 rectangles. So how can I find the area of those 4 rectangles? Well, there's a few ways I can do it. I can evaluate from the midpoints. So here's the midpoints. Those are the midpoints. Or I could evaluate from the left points or from the right points. If I want the left points, let me just show you here. This would be evaluating from the left points. Do you see how each one of those dots could be a rectangle? And I could find out the heights here and multiply by them by the widths. So I just say add up those 4 heights and multiply by the width, and that would be using the left side. If I put the 5 in and take the 4 out, and then I'm adding up those, that would be adding up the rectangles by going from the right-hand side. But they specifically in this problem want you to do a midpoint. So you have to find those midpoints there, and then you have to tell what those points are. Well, the first one, this is literally how you do it. You say between 4 and 4 1/4 is 4 1/8, 4.125. And then the next point up is going to be a quarter later. So you just add a quarter to that. And then decimals are just automatically put in. I mean, if I just did this point, hit enter, it'll give me the next quarter up. So decimals just knows to keep the trend going. So you don't even have to calculate them. Once you put the first 2 in, you're good to go. All right. So those are the evaluation points. Evaluation points. Now click here. Okay, so I want those heights. If I want those rectangles, I have to take those heights and multiply them by those widths. And you see the rectangles now? You see the 4 rectangles? So I'm adding up those 4 heights. So I'm saying I'm going to use the summation notation. I'm going to say add up from 1 to 4, from 1 to 4. Take this function, you're going to copy it and paste. So it's going to copy it and paste it. So let me copy it. So what it's going to do is this is what happens behind the scene. It puts a 1 in here times 1. And then it's going to say, and then we're going to paste it again, but we're going to put a 2 in there. And when do we stop? How many of these are we going to do? Plus the 2 that we're going to do, plus the same thing, but with a 3 in there. When do we stop? Are you guys going to tell me when to stop? When I reach 4. When I get to 4, keep going. I guess I can't get in anymore. I'll put it over here. Oh, yes, I can. Plus paste and put 4 in there. If I add all those up, it gave me 29. See, it's the same. So this is just a nicer, neater way of saying all of that. Okay, and you'll notice that the first term, if I were to look at this, that number is going to be 4.125. Okay, and the last one is going to be what? What's the last one on that box? What is, this is 1, right? 4 times a quarter is just 1. So it'll be 4.875. Okay, see how the numbers stay the same? Basically, all I do is check the first one and the last one. And if the thing's changing by the same, we're done. We don't have to check every one. So when I look at this, I check the first, I plug 0. I can also go from 0. Like when I plug 0 in here, I get 4.125. When I plug 3 in, I get 4.125 plus 0.75, and I get that same amount. So I added up all those values. Okay, and I actually get more than 29, but then I multiply it by 0.25, and that's the width of each rectangle. So that's where these formulas come from. And that's how I get this pretty picture. And I'm adding up those things. Those are not the exact area. If I want the exact area, I use this integration thing. The exact answer is 29.33333. All right. This right here is the fundamental theorem of calculus. We'll do that later. Anyway, there's nice pictures on this. If you understand Desmos, Sarah, instead of your silly little calculator, you can get really cool pictures out of this. I think this is, I struggle to make these pictures. So let me just show you one thing more before. Let me show you question 9, because I'm very proud of number 9. Number 9 is a different thing. Oh, hold on, I gotta turn off the tape. Why is there still stuff shown there? That was question 8, right? Oh, because it's on. Okay, let's look at question 9. So question 9, I want a different function. Okay, I want this function between 0 and 1. So now I'm just, see those little dots there? That's what I want. I'm going to go from 0 to 1. 0 to 1. And how big, how wide do I want? 24. So let's just look at this step. If I make the steps go 1 over, so I'm going from 0 to 1. Go from 0 to 1. And I want 1 over 24. 1 divided by 24. Oh, it didn't do it. Oh, well. Should have. Should be a bunch of lines. I guess it won't do it. Anyway, let me show you. First, I found out that the difference between the width of every rectangle is going to be 1 over 24. And if I want the heights, I have to put in 0 and then 1/24 and 2/24 and etc. into that function. I have to add them all up. Okay, so let's see what that's going to look like in the end. It's going to look like these. There's, oh, there it is, 24 of them. Is that 24? Does that look like 24? 4, 6, yeah, that's 24. So those are the little intervals. Okay. To see that last one, that's at 24. I don't want that one. I only want 24 lines. So I'm going to do, these are on the left side. If I add this one, I could do the right side and get rid of the first one, but I'm not going to do that. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is figure out what those heights are and then multiply them by the width. So I'm going to add up those heights, multiply the widths, and that'll give me that area in there. Do you think that's a good estimate of the area? Turns out to be 2.3127. The exact answer with the integral is going to be 2.33333. So it's pretty close. The more rectangles you have, the closer your answer is. All right, you can go now. I'm done. Have a good day. I may not see you till Tuesday, so good luck with 8. Grade 8. Oh, it's Halloween? Wait. Thursday's Halloween. And when is the, wait, hold on, stop. Next Tuesday's election day?
Yeah.
You might not see me then either.
Wait, we have operation?
We don't, but we might. What the hell? I don't let you guys come in election day. So you may not see me the next two classes, in which case I'll send you stuff you can watch videos,
Is there anything new?
right?
Is there anything that's new?
Which 8 is due next Tuesday, but I'll just make it due Thursday. If I just check, make sure, don't come to class the next week without checking first. Okay, I don't see anybody in the hallway.
I just wanted to talk
Bye, have a good day.
about my grades and stuff.
It's like, can I look?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys at home, are you okay?
Yeah,
sure.
I just had a question for you, so I'm okay like waiting if you need time to like discuss with other people.
Well, I'd like to close up, I want to talk to
Oh,
them.
okay, that's fine. I can just talk to you next time then.
I'm gonna pull my the grades up. I'll just stop sharing. You can't see, right?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna turn these things off and then just hold on a second while I talk.
Okay, yeah.
muting her so she's not in the dark. But yeah, so you're doing fine. You are passing. I don't say anything more than that because she can hear you now. What? I'm going to mute her again. All right, hold. For a second. What I'm saying and what I always say, remember I don't know if I talked to you guys about this, I think it might have been another class. You have to prepare for these tests like they're serious competitions.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I got good grades in college was because I took every test very seriously. I noticed a lot of my friends they were very good at doing a homework. When it came to the test, they would just be like, well, I'll just study what I know. I mean, I'll just take the test cold. Like,
Yeah.
oh no, you gotta warm up to the test, like you're warming up for a swim meet or something, or what sports do you play? I know you're in sports, but you know, those athletes don't just hop in they don't
Yeah.
just, wake up out of bed and go right into the MMA arena. They have
Yeah.
to warm up. You have to warm up.
Yeah.
You have to.
I feel like maybe I just like rushed myself a little bit in this test, but like I still did in my
pretty
opinion,
decent.
I did decent to
Yeah.
what I expected I was gonna do.
So I think
wasn't,
you've
like,
shown
expecting,
progress and you're doing decent, and I see that you both, so if I expect for the final, you'll do even better, especially since don't rush yourself. There's plenty of time. And for the final, I think there's even more time, but I'm not sure. I think the final's 2 hours. But the time isn't, don't rush you can rush
Are there
yourself.
like 50 questions on the final or what?
No, there's like 25. 25 questions on the final. So yeah, so again, you'll be done the first 5 questions, which are vocabulary. You better be done with them fast. Those are
Yeah.
not the questions. If you need to rest after you say something before you
Yeah.
start the next problem. Just so I'm not listening to you then. I'm
Gotcha.
listening to you at the beginning of those. I'm listening to the beginning of the next 5, which are read these.
Mhm.
Read them right away and save them before you type.
Yeah.
The next group are reading comprehensions, and I saw you did well on them. So you should do well on the final too.
Yeah.
The
I feel like
next
it's just the
one are what,
Desmos,
solving problems or Desmos. The next 10 on the final will be Desmos problems. 5 will be just solve them when you play, but 5 of them will be to present them, which
Yeah.
means you have to mention, if it's a speaker, you have to mention the regression and you have to mention the units. So you can't just say the answer is 6. You have to say, according to the sign regression, the answer is 6 balloons or whatever. You have to say what that answer is. It's not enough to just say answers. Those answers came from somewhere. Tell me where.
Yeah.
But I think you're on the right track. I don't think this is,
Yeah, if I put a little bit more focus and everything like that, I think I could do well on this the final, which I know for a fact I will.
good.
Because
So
this
go
was
over.
definitely like I felt sort of comfortable with this test, like compared to the last test, the first one. I was completely lost in the first one. This one I felt a little bit more comfortable. It's just that I made like mistakes and like I kind of rushed myself. a little
Right.
bit.
And so now you can clean them up.
Yeah.
That's the whole, it's not about look, it's learning. And
I was like, the only reason why I'm like kind of like, because I'm like, I don't want to like I definitely want to pass this class, right? But I don't want to get it to the point where it's like, my grades are bad to the point where I have to kind of like drop this class and stuff
Well,
like
you
that.
can't do that after today. so
Yeah,
in that group-
But honestly, I don't
So-
think I really need to.
No, I'm sure you're gonna pass.
Yeah.
I'm just, but I think look. When I wrote these questions.
Yeah.
It is a very different style of class. But the reason why I say different styles, because I'm old now and I see the valueless of some of the things that go on here. You need to answer questions that your kids might ask you. I'm gonna tell you something, they're way more valuable than my questions. My questions are the questions kids are gonna ask you, what is math?
Oh, okay.
And you need to know that answer to that question. You need to know it like you can't, otherwise your kids don't know. And you don't want your kids to come up, learn about math off the streets or not appreciate it. Too many people don't know math. They don't know what it is. They're afraid of it. It scares them. This could be you. But by the end of this class, I don't want it to be you. I
No,
want
you know what the thing is, like in high school, like maybe it was like my mentality in high school and stuff like that. It's just that whenever I tried so hard on certain assignments and stuff like that, it would never like reflect. Maybe it was just I'm a bad test
I
taker or
don't know,
something.
this reflected okay.
This one, that's why like today I'm like a little bit like, okay, like I didn't do so bad.
So
Like,
keep working at it and you'll do better. I will say something about my class. I feel with my tests, more work gets better grades.
yeah,
So hold on, Selena.
but yeah,
I'm
that's all I just really wanted to discuss over and
Yeah, yeah, so more work, better grades. We have more time. The course slows down now. I really push it to the midterm.
yeah.
Now it slows down, moves at a slower pace. There's a lot less stuff that I have to go
What's
over.
the final, by the way? It's like the 18th.
December something.
Yeah.
I don't know, it says on the thing. I feel like it's the 12th, but it's in December. And so we have over a month, the entire month of November to do basically antiderivatives, approximating area, fundamental theorem of calculus, integration by substitution. I basically have 5 things to cover in 5 weeks.
Oh,
So doesn't mean it's a cakewalk, but it's not that hard.
okay.
Okay. And again, the more work you put in, the more you look at these questions, the more you work on them, they get asked. I can't tell you which one you're going to get asked, and that's sometimes you get screwed because I asked you a question that you didn't study or you don't remember, whatever.
Yeah.
But mostly, the more you study, the more you know, the easier your grade, the better your grade is. Okay, all right. Good luck. I'll see you on Thursday or maybe next Thursday. I don't know. Have a good one. Okay, Anusha and Nina, you have a question?
Yeah, I'll try to make it quick, but I was just wondering I know you said that if you're gonna apply the curve, you're not gonna make it so like you can go over 100, but I did like pretty bad on my derivatives test. Like I think it was like almost an F on that. And so I was wondering like if there's any way that you could like apply that curve that way I could like maybe get up to like an A because that's what I'm hoping for in this class. But if not,
Okay.
that's fine. I just wanted to like
No, I'm not gonna do that, but I will tell you this. You should never worry about any one grade,
okay.
unless it's the final. You want an A, get an A on the final. And the derivatives test will not keep you from an A.
Okay.
So redeem yourself and it's fine. I'm not saying this just as me. I'm telling you, all college instructors appreciate a student that brings their grades up and recovers from a bad experience, whether it's the first exam or the second exam. Those can be overlooked if you have a trend, if you have an upward trend in general, like if you go from 70 to 80 to 90, that 70 isn't going to hold you back. If you
Okay.
go from 70 to 60 to 90, well, that's middle grade might pull you down a bit, but it won't. But if you have more grades and they keep going up, then they just overlook the outlier. That whatever's the outlier, they overlook. And
Yeah.
they like grades, the last grades, the best. So